We have always said it, that opinion polling, in an ideal setting where the facts are purely scientific, they will be as close to the reality as much as possible. But in this part of the world, we discover that there are variations in the findings of the pollsters depending on their political inclination. Now you see that the happenings in the last elections have just given the lie to some of those things. We have always said it, that the reality on ground is one thing. The projections by the pundits is another. All the factors that some people said they analyzed may be at variance. And then, of course, you discover that some hours or days before the election, there were a lot of things that happened on the political space that also could have influenced, the decisions of the average voter. But we thank God that at least here we are, and there are lessons to learn. And the bottom line is that the politician of the present age must not limit his or her calculation to a single factor. There are a lot of things that affect the eventual performance and outcome of election beyond what the spin doctors say.
Well, let me take you on again. When you look at the role and performances of the media, what's your assessment?
Well, the media,
really at this crucial
moment, yes, the media have been very, up and doing. Although we have one or two instances, the major issue the media faced before the election was the question of credibility. There were
and at times partisanship, and this accounted to the issue of boycott by some political candidates saying they will not attend to some town hall meeting or whatever you call it, because they believe, have been sure that there were indications of biases. But there are those media too that stood their grounds, giving everybody equal platform. And to that extent, we still want to say kudos. Of course, what we have always said is that in a pluralistic society, the diversity of the media itself will be a function, a reflection of what happens. You can never railroad the media into a single platform. There will be diversities of thought. There will be the right wing, there will be the left wing, and it will be left for the audience to now determine where to pitch their tent. And I think we have not fared badly. We have not fared badly. Thank you very much. Director,
yes, sir.
When you look at stakeholders' engagement, and particularly your agency, how helpful has the National Orientation Agency been recently?
We want to thank God. Like the media, NOAA was in the forefront of social mobilization. We have done enough voters' education. Up till eve of the election, we were still going around telling people to come out en masse because we want to deal with voter apathy. You see, one of the ingredients of viral citizenship is active participation in democracy. The power to rule is vested in citizens. And so if somebody now has a franchise, that is to say, ability, power to vote and be voted for, such a privilege should not be taken for granted. So we don't want people to say because of cash problem, fuel, there's no light to stay at home and not do the needful. Because it is when they vote that they can put in person or candidate or party they believe could do things better. And so NOAA was involved, and we want to thank God for the media. The media has been a good ally. They have been a good supporter to what NOAA is doing. If you do any program, the media, both private and government owned, have been there to support us. And we still hope that they will continue this. The more we cooperate together, the better Nigeria becomes. So as far as I'm concerned, both the media and the NOAA has been doing a very good job.
Well, with your mobilization effort, what were the expectations of the citizens to government or from government?
Well, part of the NOAA responsibility is also to send feedback of the people to government. So we gauge people's pulse and we give government.
What were the real issues that were shown out? Maybe as an appreciation or as a lack of?
Well, the major problem has been that people expect government to do more than they are doing now. They want government to be not only closer to them, but to solve their problem, to alleviate their problems. If you think about it, what had happened during the cash problem, they want government to be more responsive. They want government to alleviate their problems. That even if the policy was meant to reduce kidnapping, attack those people that have stored up money in their homes, that nonetheless, that government should still do in such a way that people will not suffer the way they suffered. So people are saying that government should please show more concern to average citizenship. But we are telling them that government does not mean evil for its citizenship. We are telling people that they should be patient, and government is taking some proactive action. And we can see that things are getting better than before because of the response we fight to them.
From the academia, because your place is an avenue to do research,
yes,
and to also ensure that students and the other stakeholders within the academic communities are comfortable.
Yes.
So what are the yearnings
yes.
of the academics?
The observation, like the North Director just said, is still valid, and I must commend his candidness, because as a government official, he cannot talk. I mean, he's not supposed to really come.
But for feedback system,
yes,
that we need to know.
Exactly. I mean, the point is this: whatever ostensible justifications government had for those, harsh policies, I call it harsh policies, that came at the nick of election, I think they were negated by the suffering that the masses actually went through. And you saw it in the elections too, because there was a lot of anger in the land. We expect that even before we had the question of the the currency design, even when we were anticipating the design, the information network, the publicity was not deep enough. It got to a point that people were rejecting the new notes ab initio because of lack of information. Just about the time they were embracing it, they now came in short supply, and all these dislocations came. All these were the things that instigated the reaction that we saw at the polling, and I think we have learned our lessons.
Permit me to yes. Okay. I do not believe that the policy is harsh. Okay. There are three phases to that policy. Okay. The physical policy, the monetary policy, and the human intervention. It was that human intervention that scattered the whole thing. Because there are some people that are saboteurs. They are the ones that sabotage government policies. And that is the reason why it looks like that was not. I can give you concrete evidence, but I tell you the truth. Government meant well for Nigerians. Okay. The CBN too really do not want to feel that as if they are not mindful. But let me tell you the truth. Everything, you're a lecturer, sir. Everything that is good comes with pain and hard work. I know what it means to have a first class. I know what it means for a woman to give birth to a labor, to give birth to a child. What she went through is not simple. So at the end of the day, there is a joy when the woman put to bed. So in the similar situation too, if this policy was not sabotaged, it will have gone well. I bet it is that woman disagree on the sabotage. Listen, look at it now. When some bankers store up money, store the money and do not release it, is that not sabotage? Let the big man collected the money. Okay, let him come now. You see, the major the question of the law of demand and supply comes to play here. Whenever there is scarcity, whether it is instigated or it evolves, there will naturally be the consequences we are seeing.
And government will have been prepared.
Beyond preparation, sir. You mop up, officially you mop up over 2 trillion naira from the system. You produce 400 billion. Already there's a shortfall. Before you even talk about the bankers, we're just blaming the bankers. If you listen to the far from the angle too, you see, the releases in terms of cash is proportional to holdings. I mean, you won't compare the cash that a bank manager will release to his big-time customers to that of the small, you know, that is the point. They could be reserving this thing because if you are a bank and you have OGTV, for instance, as a client,
with a corporate client,
or some big, you know, clients there and there, you will still also take care of their interest because these are the people sustaining you. The main problem is with the shortfall. That gap is too much, and there's no way government can rationalize that.
Do you agree?
Well, in school we call something you are entitled to your opinion. As far as I'm concerned, government believes that the policy has good intention. For me, as a citizen, I felt that we could have improved on the situation. Like when the money was coming, I also believe that the money should be more released. More money should be released into circulation because I too suffer.
That is the cross of
that is the cross. I too suffer about something. Yeah. But talking about the fact that the bankers should take care of the big time customers at the expense of we the masses, it's not true. It's not fair. And that is why there was problem because the banker did not get it right.
Money that industries will use.
We are the large customer. We the masses are the real customers.
Let me come in. It's a purely economic decision.
Exactly.
And no business outfit.
How much money has they make now?
No, let's balance.
That's what I'm talking about.
Let's balance it.
It's like this. If there are occasions when you have money in your pocket and you don't feel hungry. Yes, no. You know, when you have money in your pocket, you will not feel hungry. But the moment you don't have money in your pocket, hunger becomes more.
I think the crux of the matter is that
it's indeed
the supply warrant adequate.
Exactly. That's shows the supply.
But the problem in school, in theory, you know, there must be reason for that. Maybe to guide the purpose why it was.
That is the purpose. That is the purpose of this program.
Exactly.
To give feedback to the citizens.
Okay.
There are always two ways to do things. We must consider the interest of government, and we must also consider the interest of the people. It must be balanced. And when
government exists for the people.
Yes.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, I believe that government loves the citizen, and citizens are also interested in good governance. Actually, very soon, all of us are going to forget about this thing because in a matter of weeks now, everything will be normalized. Yeah. The aim is going.
Well, whichever angle that we are looking at it, it is expected that government should have done the right thing,
properly. Yes.
Proper own work, yes. And they should have envisaged the kind of hiccups.
Until all of us do the right thing, we may not be able to have good implementation. You see, the theories are good on paper. It is when it is drawn, it is being implemented that this sabotage comes.
Okay, for the
one to appeal to Nigerians to please love their country, to do the right thing. If you do the right thing and do the right thing, we won't have this pain. Some people cause the problem.
Okay, so
government is for that. I have a different attitude.
You must have money.
The question
you will lack.
Some people are
lack your response.
So you have to defend yourself.
Sorry, you will lack your question. I mean your response. Yes. To the question I'm going to ask you. The citizens, the voters now,
okay,
considering the remaining elections that are coming up, what's your advice to them?
Yes, my advice is that the tempo should be sustained. Votes should count. People should defend their franchise. The beauty of democracy is that the majority will have their say, and the minority, the majority will have their way, and the minority will have their say. It has been said that democracy may not be the best of government, but the point is there's no better one, at least for now. The elections that are coming, let us respect other people's opinion. Let us also keep to the rules, ensure that we vote and our vote counts, and keep violence out of it.
Our key is the mission of these election monitors?
That has been wonderful, and I think they play a kind of watchdog role, and they've been able to keep everybody on their toes, because when you know that people are watching you, no matter what bizarre instincts we have, we put them under checks. I think so far it's been so good, and we still pray that at the end of the, because whether we like it or not, the monitors too are going to be, the reflectors of our image to the outside world. They are going to report to their respective home governments and agencies. So the more maturity we demonstrate, the more we keep to the rules. I mean, given our population as the giant of Africa, so to say, the more we'll be able to teach the world that we are coming of age, and that we have learnt the rudiments of democracy.
With government engagement with these foreign missions, people, monitors, and
we call them observer, international observer. So the monitors are actually INEC officials. All the other people are observers, and there's difference between them.
Okay.
The difference is that only INEC monitors can intervene in the electoral process.
Of course.
Observers can only observe, and also if they have anything to say, they report to monitors. They are the one that can give instruction for effective. So that is the difference.
In between elections, do they have any role to mitigate certain?
Incidentally, we had a meeting with them yesterday at the state headquarters. Yes, so we're able to see the NGOs, the observers, as well as international observers. Some of them are asking questions like you had made reason, and they want to know this, they want to know that. But INEC was able to satisfy them. Actually, INEC has put in place a lot of machinery to ensure that the election was successful. So there wasn't much, but the problem that is in society is what is making some people to think that this and that, because logistics wise, some of them may not be able to have all that they need to have before, and that is not INEC problem. Those are the problem that is in larger society. So as far as we are concerned at NOAA, we believe that international observers, local observers are welcome. But for me personally, I feel that they are getting too many now. But I wasn't able to bring it to the table at the access meeting. But I feel like as if INEC should begin to plan.
Getting rowdy.
You're getting rowdy. They are getting too many. My other concern is the fact that if you do not put a check, people that are supposed to be voting will be reducing.
That's why there are no accreditation and guidelines to us who can be.
There are guidelines. What I'm saying is that people have interest in doing it. But I'm saying that we are getting too many.
Too rowdy.
The problem is with the local observers. The local observers. They should be voting. They should be voting. They should leave the observers for INEC and necessary
foreign agencies
and international observers. They should reduce it.
All these NGOs,
they are getting too many. And it's affecting the people that are supposed to vote.
Let me ask you.
That's the
monitoring room, or what do you call it?
The situation room.
The situation room.
Yes.
Okay.
How do you see the change in the operatives?
I think what we have come to observe now is that we are getting more, sophisticated. We are getting our acts right in terms of reaction time, because the idea of a situation room is to monitor, and if there are issues, quickly fix. And you discover that even the parties, the political parties, also have their situation rooms. So
even the media,
including the media. So everything is taking shape, and we know that it will only get better with further elections. And I think even particularly with the use and adaptation of technology, we are getting there.
Maybe I should add, security agency also has their situation room.
So that, how do we now abridge and then find a common place for all
as far as the election is concerned, the security situation room is the major the key thing, because all the access, that is interagency consultative committees, we are using that. So if there's any issue, that is the final bus stop. So whatever any station now, for instance, any media station can have a situation room like Splash, they have. Okay, this other one they have, ODBC may have. But if they have an issue, they will be the one to contact. So these are the issues.
The issue of result release.
Okay.
So So what is the takeaway from government now? Who has the sole responsibility?
Well, the people have the sole responsibility. So because they are the ones that decide who they voted for.
No, what I'm saying that, talking about elections in all areas, how do we synchronize? Who has the final say?
You have said it now.
The people at the polling booth or at the recorder or the announcer? So we are trying to do this to guide people.
I think, if you ask me,
I'm asking.
It's a combination of the voter, and then the transparency by the monitors, and then
not monitor.
You said
monitors not the. I mean,
they are the one that will they are the one that are midwifing the process.
Okay.
They will do the count, the
let me be specific.
Counting, and also
let me be specific. We are told that at the polling unit, the results are supposed to be made known.
Yes.
Which is
it not clear?
It's first level.
So what I will do, let me just say this in a simple language.
Because we want to educate the masses.
Let me just say this. The people decide who will vote, who will win, because they are the one that vote for them. But digital electronic device that has been introduced by INEC now has made the work easier. And it can only give us a problem if somebody manipulates it. If there's no manipulation in terms of allowing people to vote, and the number that has been configured in the beavers will say only 1,200 has been configured here as voters. So if the number of votes cannot be more than 1,200. So if there is more than that, that polling result will be void, will be cancelled. So that tells you that people are the one in charge, because the person that holds the beaver is a person. The one that is recording is a person. The voters that want to vote is their person. So when people do not overvote, you have the problem. When somebody does not manipulate the, so that will be the ones the recorder does not manipulate. But let me just tell you, because of the electronic beavers, there is no likelihood for any person to inflate the figure, because as you thumbprint, you drop your ballot and it's counted, it has been recorded. Your vote counts. So Nigeria should be there process.
Any network issues?
There is no problem with any network. Beavers does not usually use the network as such. But at the point of collation, there is network there. Every collation center, there is network. They have done what they call mock election, and we have tested it, and all the beavers have been tested.
So the citizens are sure that the citizens should be assured that coming election is also going to be fruitful as it was.
Yes.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you. Thank you,
Mr. Christopher OBADINA.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for the pains taken to be here today.
Thank you so much.
And Dr. DELE ODUNLAMI,
thank you.
I was also very appreciative of your coming.
We also
all the way from Agowe.
Yes. Thank you so much.
We thank you for being there always. Let us realize that the vote is precious. It is the most powerful non-violent tool we have in a democratic society, and we must use it. So, coming governorship and state house of assembly election, please use your power, exercise your power very well. It's on this note that we're going to end this program. Thank you so much. I remain your uncle, Akin Kudero. Until next week, we will have another topic for discussion. I wish you well. Bye for now.
Thank you.